Hey guys, today we're going to talk about 2.4, which is Social Security tax. Social Security tax benefits a couple different groups of people. The main one that first people think about is people that retire receive Social Security, depending on how long they worked. And then anybody that's like disabled and can't work for some different qualifying reasons will also receive Social Security. So you'll see Social Security deducted from your paycheck. It's called FICA, F-I-C-A, so it may appear as a line item as FICA rather than Social Security tax. We'll talk about what that means on the next slide, but essentially you as a worker currently pay for people who cannot work, and they receive that money. So a lot of people think like, oh, I pay FICA or Social Security, it goes into an account, and then when I retire, I get my own money back. That's not the case. You're actually supporting current retirees and people that can't work. And then by the time you reach whatever the age is, it's around 67 or 70, when you start receiving Social Security benefits, that'll be the workers at that time will have it deducted from their paychecks, and then it'll come to you. So today's objective is just to do that, to calculate your Social Security tax. So we'll go through a few definitions here. FICA is your Social Security tax. That FICA, F-I-C-A, stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act. So most likely it'll show up as FICA on your paycheck. Your notes look a little bit different than mine. I believe we're just going to use these are really old notes. I think this is ignored. We're going to use the 7.65%. for 1990 and after. And the self-employed rate that we're going to use is actually double, so it's 7.65 times 2, which should get us, that's not dollars, should get us 15.3%. So in your assignments, it might give you different numbers. Let's just use this 15.3% for anybody that's self-employed and the 7.65 for anybody that's not self-employed. So to find FICA, all we're going to do is we're going to take our earnings, so how much money did you make, and we're going to multiply it by this FICA rate, this 7.65% that's written as a decimal. If you're self-employed, you use 15.3. Here's the reason we have 15.3, which is double the 7.65. As a worker, if you work for somebody, you pay 7.65% and your boss pays 7.65%. Your company does. So the government is getting the 15.3%. If you're self-employed, you kind of count as the boss and the worker, right? So your pay is going to get double charged, once as the boss, once as the employee. So it's kind of a downside of being self-employed. So ignore this in 1988. Again, I think yours is different. But Nick earned $792.15 per week for earnings. How much FICA tax was withheld? It doesn't say he's self-employed, so we assume that he's not. So my FICA, F-I-C-A, should be that 792.15 multiplied by my 7.65%, which is 0.0765. All right, 0.0765. So I calculate that comes out to $60, and it was 0.599, so we'll round that up to 60 cents. Again, this 0.0765 is the 7.65% divided by 100, or you can move the decimal 2 spots. So that's how I get that number there. Let's try example 2. Actually, let's try example 3. Again, you're going to ignore these years for Gina in example 2. Same for example 3, but let's do one with self-employed. So Dale Bruce is self-employed. He earned $642.37 per week. How much FICA tax was withheld for his earnings? So again, self-employed, we're going to use 15.3%. which when I divide that by 100 is going to get me 0.153 as a decimal. So let's take FICA is equal to that 642.37, multiply it by 0.153, and I get 98.28. So half of that is pulled out as the employee, half of it's pulled out as the employer. You can calculate them all together. So 98.28 is what we're looking for there. All right, so why don't you guys go ahead and try example 2, and I'll have the answer put up here, so go ahead and pause it. And through the power of technology, magic, there you go. I got 32.07, so $32.07. Okay, guys, I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and work on your practice. Take care.